let's talk about why is such I don't know if it's a taboo or is it something that we don't think we should talk about. I'll start
Okay.
from me, myself. So growing up, I was never taught about period. I didn't know. I didn't even know what it was until it came. So no one ever
Mm.
prepared me for it, right? Would you say, would that be the same for you, or was slightly different for you?
That was exactly the same for me.
Okay,
And
but
also,
most
I
people I
knew
know it
about it.
would be the same as well.
Yeah, how I knew about it is actually seeing my auntie put on, like, then they would use those big cottons.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she would use. I see her cutting a lot, and I'm like, oh, what is this? I think she explained to me. That's how I kind of started noticing and seeing this, that, oh, there's something that happens. And I can even remember, like, as you're growing up, you play with or you act based on what you see. I
Yeah.
can remember taking things and putting it down there and wearing my pants. Nothing is happening.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
not,
I'm not gonna
I
lie
don't
to you.
understand.
It's okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Yeah,
think we lived in the same world. I did the same exact
yeah,
I'm not gonna
So,
pretend. I did the same exact thing because I saw this is just terrible. I'll tell
yeah,
you what I did. When I saw my sister do it, I went and got
yeah.
Ribena. I put it on a tissue and then because I wanted her periods too. I've
Oh my
never said this
goodness.
to anyone, but I did that
Yeah.
because I wanted to see what it felt like. No one told me what it was, but I saw my sisters doing it, and I thought, you know what? Let me see what it
Let
would
me
feel like
try
if
this
I put
out. Yeah.
something red and I wore it. Someone's laughing at me, but honestly, I did that. I'm not even lying. Like I didn't think that there would be a
And you
day
did
that would
similar.
come that I would say this, but it was a secret I've been keeping for a while. So someone mentioned, I started at 9, so thank you for this education. Yes, because as myself and Isoki just said, we never got taught. We just saw it, and as we said, we
Mm,
acted it out because we
yeah.
wanted to see what it felt like. But this shouldn't repeat itself, basically.
Yeah,
It
it
should be
shouldn't
something
be.
that we start talking about. So before, because I know you do the classes, but what do you think parents can do to start?
Uh,
Like,
First of all,
what's the first thing that they need to start
I
doing
think
before you get to
first of
the
all, it's very
okay.
important for as young as I would say 4, 5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
because to be honest, especially now, I'm saying 4, 5. These days, the kids tend to be very, very
Yeah.
smart. Unlike me, then I think I can't even remember when I was 4, what I did. But these days, what they
Of
say and what they
course.
do and how they
The social
absorb things
media.
around
Yeah.
them in their environment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important for us to start, educating our children gradually and getting them to a place whereby they can actually understand why
Yeah.
when things start changing for them, how
Mm-hmm.
the grow, the changes that occur during different stages,
Yeah.
and so that they can appreciate it and know
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, this is coming at some point, and I
Agree.
do appreciate it. And now you said something. I wrote a book for kids as young as when they can start reading. So
Mm-hmm.
from 4, 5 to age 8. It's just
Yeah.
a book, just breaking the ice on menstruation. So it's
Mm-hmm.
about a little girl called Lily, and she's seeing her period for the first time. So the book is on Amazon. So it's
Mm-hmm.
called Lily's Big
This is
Discovery, whereby
also good. Yeah.
parents can start getting that as early as when these children start reading,
Mm-hmm.
and they start getting themselves into their awareness. This is something that occurs to young girls.
Yeah. So I think it should be something as similar as when you're trying to teach women or girls or your children, girls, boys, how to be safe,
Yeah,
protecting themselves. When you talk
yeah,
about, sexuality and, knowing their private parts, as you're doing that, me personally, I think we should also start with the conversation of what happens within the children's body as well, or your child's body, whether it's a boy or girl. And I also think that we shouldn't just leave it to the girls. I
yeah.
think it's
That's
important
so true.
for, because they have brothers, they
Yeah,
have moms, and
yeah,
certain things is changing in your body. They need to know as well, because mommy might be a little bit sleepy or a little bit tired than usual. They need to understand why mommy feels that way or their sister feels that way, so that they don't necessarily have to change their behavior towards them, but they can also be empathetic
Yeah,
or at least be supportive.
I'm glad you say this, because I can remember a discussion. This was years ago. I was having with some friends of mine. Then my older one was still, I think it was maybe 8 or 9,
Yeah.
and we're talking about. I had 2 boys first before having my beautiful daughter, and we talked about. I can't remember what the topic was, but the conversation was actually, oh, why do I kind of expose my boys so much about like menstruation? I'm like, of course, I need to, because I want them to be able to respect the girls around them. And then I didn't even think I was going to have a daughter. Respect girls around them. And also, what do you feel? How would you feel if your daughter goes to school and she stains herself mistakenly, and all the boys stand up and start laughing at her?
Exactly.
I want my child to actually embrace that child and
Yeah.
quickly go and look for how to protect her, to ensure that she's safe and she's okay. You get, or to that point, or even whatever support you can give. It's very, very crucial, important. So it's important for the boys to understand what these things are, what the girls go through, as important as they do go through puberty. Girls do go through puberty changes as well.
Yeah, I would not a story. So 2 things. I saw this video online about a boy or a guy explaining he was just talking about how he grew up knowing about menstruation. And he said when they were growing up, his dad taught them how to be supportive whenever their mom was going through their period. Imagine if they learned that from their father. And this is how, he's treated his girlfriends and all of that, where whenever their mom is on a period or their sister, they go and buy like a packet care or a care package. So the care package would include like sweets and, something for them to relax, balm, different things. But they had a care package where they would go and buy and then give it to their mom and just make sure that they are as supportive as possible during that period. And that was how we learned. That was what he took away growing up. And then that is how he's living. So it's not just about even understanding how they feel. It's also about being that support, being the support during that period.
During that period.
I think that,
that's
I thought that was really beautiful. I thought it was fantastic. And also, fathers, when children start their menstruation with daughters, it's always thought that the mom should be the one to, talk about it with them. I think dads can do the same, or the whole family can do the same. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
And that should also be included. I don't know if you already do it in your lessons or the education that you provide as well. I think everyone should be involved.
Oh yes, 100%. And it's very important, as you say, with the men, it's very important for them to be aware. And let me add to that, not just the fathers at home, uncles, teachers, because during one of my session, I had a girl. I think this was a session for girls, maybe slightly older girls. So they were mostly like 11, 12 in the class, but they've not started their menstruation, and it came on. And one of the girls at that age already, they're already matured, especially here in the UK, whereby at 11, these are big girls, And she came and she's like, "Oh, Auntie, I have a question. Like, what is it?" She's like, "Oh, what do I do when I need to change, and I tell my teacher that I need to change and he refuses?" I'm like, oh gosh, that's just the reality for a man not to understand that she needs the toilet. So it's out there, and it happens till this day. And that is why it's part of the reason why I'm doing this webinar or educational webinar for the young girls, but also is to break this taboo and to educate everyone, our uncles, fathers, mothers, everybody, our brothers, the importance of actually supporting if that's what you can do, or educating if that's what you can do, whatever you can do to help or to support, to be great. You get understanding the situation and giving her the chance to go to the toilet to change is very important.
Because I think,
you get me? I thought, because she hasn't started, I thought maybe she was just like talking. No, she was like, "Oh, but it happened in my class. Happened in my class." So maybe a friend of hers actually raised her hand up, and the male teacher, bless him, refused for her to go out and change.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it
Oh,
happens.
bless.
Yeah, it is reality, unfortunately, at
Poor,
this time.
poor girl.
Mm.
But I think this is important. The education is important, as you said, not just to the girls, but to every single one. Everyone, everyone.
Mhm.
We have a comment. Someone said, my mom was at work when I started. Unfortunately, it was my male cousin who went to the sanitary ware and informed my mom when she got back. So male education is important. Oh, that is so sweet. So
Yeah,
imagine if he didn't really know anything about it, then he would have just been as clueless. But the fact that he kind of knew what to do
yeah.
was really important.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sweet. That's really
know.
nice.
I
And
know.
you can, yeah, you can imagine the comfort and also the assurance it gives to that
I
person,
know.
where,
That she's
yeah, it just makes you
comfortable
feel
enough
like you're not
to, yeah,
alone. You're not
yeah.
alone, you know.
So
So,
speaking
which is
about
really
male
good. That's great.
education, I'll just talking as a mom as well. I only have a boy. Uh,
Mm,
we've had this conversation when I think it was around 12-ish or 11. We
mm,
got a book that talks about, how your body changes.
mm,
And within that book, he also talks about the girls as well. So we had that
mm,
conversation about this is what happens to girls and mommy too goes through it. This is what you need to do. At least I'm not asking you to do anything, but you
mm,
need to be aware if that happens. And whenever I get my period, I let him know. So at least he
mm.
knows and whatever he needs to do to help, if he sees me, he can help and support. But I put it in his head to make sure that women go through this. If he
Yeah.
can support, do that. So that way he's also aware. And as you mentioned, if something was to happen in public and a girl was to get a period, he knows how to help and support and he knows what it is. It's not new and it's not, foreign to him, which I think is
Hmm.
really important. So
Yeah, it is.
on to that. We've talked about what parents need to do, how they need to start. So you've mentioned educating themselves, educating the people around them. And you've got your book as well, which is on Amazon, where people can buy. What is the name of the book, by the way?
Is Lily's Big Discovery.
Lily's
So
Discovery.
Lily's Lily,
Can you type it
and
into
apostrophe S,
put it
Big
into
Discovery. Oh, okay,
yeah,
I will do that.
so I can,
Yeah, I'll do
okay,
that.
you, so that is for children from 5 to 8, you said,
Yes,
right?
from 5 to 7,
From 5 to 7.
to 8, 9,
Okay.
it depends. Yeah, but and the book is 5 to, I think on the book is 5 to 8.
five
Yeah.
to eight. And
Mm.
it talks about a girl called Lily
Yeah,
starting her period and the journey through that.
yeah, which leads
Okay,
to a
fantastic.
knowledge and how, she was able to gain confidence and support and education around it, which was really beautiful anyway. So it's a wonderful
Okay,
book, great review on the book. So yeah.
fantastic. So please check that out on Amazon. And what else do you think parents can do? They have a book, they're talking about it. What else can they do practically?
Another thing I would say is they're just ensuring that these children, when it comes to, because menstruation and hygiene
Mhm.
it kind of comes hand in hand on how they care for their body,
Mhm.
and knowing that as this changes occurs, their physical thing, the physical changes occurs, there are also physical things they need to start doing and they need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So you want your daughter to be fully aware of herself, because for them to be able to be aware of themselves is knowing who they are, knowing
Mhm.
what's going on with them.
Mhm.
So it's just building that confidence. So they need to also be there for the kids or for their daughters during that time. And then there's another thing which I encourage as well, which I have some parents who come back to me after the class, because they come back to me after the class to let me know, oh, my daughter has started or not. And I always encourage them to, get her a gift, make it a big deal.
Mm.
Make it a big deal. This is a significant change. You're
Yeah.
becoming a woman or you're not a
Yeah.
woman, you know.
I
So
love that. I
embrace
love
the
that.
change. Yeah, physical things that could happen, embrace it and let her see that it's something to be joyful about, because I don't want a situation or some based on lessons or education I've done whereby kids they're not so happy or looking forward to seeing their menstruation. It hurts me.
Mm. And it
Yes,
needs to
I
be
know.
celebrated, as you said.
Yes,
My,
it needs to.
as I said, I don't
It
have
needs
a
to.
girl. My
Mm.
friend's daughter just started recently, so I've told her we have a date to celebrate it. So I'm actually going to take her
Yeah.
on a
Oh, that would
lunch
be
date.
sweet.
So we're going to have a
Oh,
tea
that's nice.
party, just me and her. Mommy's not
Oh, that's
invited,
sweet.
just to
Yeah.
celebrate it. And I think, as you said,
Yeah.
it is something joyful. It is like
Yes. Yeah.
it's like your passageway or your passageway into womanhood, right?
Womanhood.
And it
Yeah,
should
it is.
absolutely be celebrated. I agree with
Yeah,
that. So
yeah, 100%.
education,
So these are kind of, yeah,
this
yeah,
celebrates, what else?
yeah. And also just being there emotionally, because
Emotionally.
menstruation could come with the whole ups and downs with emotions.
True.
Trying to understand the children's emotions is very helpful, and also making it a very conducive environment whereby the
Mm,
children are able to speak and to talk about their feelings. Because most times at home, or it might be difficult for the child to fully open up. So
yeah.
creating a safe space for the child is very important for
Mm,
them to be able to speak out about their emotions or whatever they're going or how they're feeling,
mm,
and also creating activities with them as well around it as
okay.
well. And there's another important things which I always say for youth, for everything we go through when it comes to menstruation and how we feel it, because most of the time, 100%, not 100%, sorry, most of the time your children tend to have the same thing you do as a mom. So it's very important to let them know how you're feeling or how you deal with your situation.
Mm,
And so they can learn as well from you and they can see you experience it as
mm,
well. That's another good way of them learning.
absolutely. So there's this study that was done
Mm.
that says most women that live, together or in the same community or you live in the same house, your cycle tends to kind of mimic themselves. So you start your periods together. So I guess as a mother, if you have a daughter and your daughter starts a period, you guys will probably have your period similar,
You're,
similar to the same
like the
time.
second person I've heard say
Yeah.
this thing. So,
Even
wow.
even my friend that lives close to me,
Yeah.
our period kind of mimics each other now because we're so
Really?
close to each other.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a science
Mm.
that has been proven, but obviously it's also obvious
Okay.
because it didn't start. She lived away from me, but now she's closer, and
Mm.
our periods tend to mimic, like they tend to come around the same
The
time. So
same time.
I guess that that
Wow.
that also helps if you have a female child in the house where you are
Mm.
kind of going through the same thing at the same time, or not the same time, like similar or close to the same time. So that really helps with the support that you've
Yeah, it
mentioned.
does.
But
Yeah.
I absolutely think, as you said, not making a big deal of it in the positive way, not the negative way,
Yeah.
clearly,
Oh, yes, of course.
and
Yeah.
creating that safe
Yeah.
space to really talk about it and discuss however they're feeling. Because again, you might feel different. Because for me, having my period of before after, like I'm normal, and I have
Mm.
some people, is like the whole world turns around. So that's another
Oh,
thing
yeah.
for women because
Yeah.
we're not the same. We don't feel the same. We don't have the same, internal struggles or whatever we go through. So I think that's also good to be aware of. Whenever we're also educating people that are not female to know that, but someone can ask me, okay, but this person feels normal when they are having their periods. Like we're not the same. So people need to
Yeah.
understand that as well
Yeah.
when that
Yeah.
education
It's
comes in.
very important because however I go through it, it's always very different to how the next person, even though we're
Yeah,
twins, even
absolutely.
though,
Exactly.
identical twins, it's
Hmm.
going to be absolutely different because our DNA is different.
Absolutely.
So yes, how we process or how it comes or how our menstruation comes is totally different.
Absolutely.
I'm going to explore
The
statement you made
study.
about the study whereby if you live together or close by,
Mm,
you kind of mimic,
yeah.
because at least I'm living close by, close with a friend of mine. So
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna like
notice
look
it
into
or,
it and see.
go like notice it or at least try and see. It might not be immediately, but after a while, you
Mm,
guys, but check.
might just
I'm
seem to
not saying
be
it's an exact
okay.
science, but it is something that is, yeah, at least I've seen it from my point of view, not just the study. So
Okay.
we've mentioned the things that we need to do, or parents or people need to do when you have children that are about to go through menstruation, or and you talked about you having like an educational webinar. So with this
Mm,
educational webinar, can you tell us a little bit more about it, and also who the webinar is for? Because from my understanding, I think, oh, okay, the webinar should be for maybe the children that have started, or the ones that haven't, but tell
yeah.
us a bit more about it so that we can No, and for parents on here so that they can also know, okay, this is something I definitely want to be on.
Okay. So actually it's geared for children between age 8 to 14. So why I made it to 14 years of age is that there's still some kids that have started, but they're still kind of a bit naive about it or not confident about it. Or you just think that, okay, your child has started, but you want her to be around a class whereby there's similar people like her, just to build that community and support as well. It is a game changer, I would say, really, not because I educate the kids, but what I see after my class or the conversation these children make, knowing that they're different children in the same webinar from different parts of the world is amazing. So you can have children join from the US, from Nigeria, from kind of wherever. You can join a webinar whereby you talk about fully menstruation hygiene. And also, it's a place whereby another thing which I do is to also promote using great product for the children, because within LillyFlow we have a menstruation kit for the young girls. So for children just about to start their menstruation, there's a kit in place for them whereby it gives them a little bit of information, like a leaflet about what all they need to know about menstruation. There's pads in there, there's a period pants in there, and there's a string bag in it. It's got a lot of like little gifts which they can actually have and keep, so that when they start their menstruation, they can actually jump on it and start using this products. And these are clean products. And also they can go back and just check through the leaflet to just see in case they're kind of going through something and they're not sure how to go about it. They can open it up and read through. So which we do. So in the class, we promote this a lot. Hence, my class is tied towards you going for the webinar, which is free, but you're buying the kits for the children, because it's great for the children to come on board and knowing that after the class, they will be getting a LillyFlow first period kits as well. So within the session, I teach the children all about menstruation, the whole menstrual cycle. And also after that, we really dig deep into their health and well-being, and also hygiene, and also the supportive information they need to know, and how they can actually gain support for themselves, and how they can really care for themselves. So those are the things that those children are going to gain, and that's what I look to doing. So that by the time they leave my class, they leave with full confidence, and they can actually go ahead and talk to other children who don't have the opportunity to. So it's a great thing. And I don't know. Yeah, at times I try not to, I know what they're getting, so I try to let people know. I think you experience it. When you experience it, you fully understand what those children are gaining. You get. So, and there's fantastic reviews so far from children, even from girls age 8 and 9, what they say and talk about the class. So it's a safe place for children between that age 8 to 14. And another thing you said,
right? It's a new experience for them. I said because it's a new experience, and it's something that
for them.
And it's something they know is coming. So it's not like you're talking about buying a dress. You're talking about an experience that is coming. Whether they like it or not, they will have that experience. And preparing them for that experience is absolutely important.
It's crucial.
I didn't get prepared, you didn't get prepared, but imagine if we were prepared. We wouldn't have done the nonsense. I mean, I wouldn't have done the nonsense I tried, because no one told me about it. And I think it's really important.
Yeah. I'm going to give a quick example. I had a girl who had studied a period and came to one of my sessions. And you could tell all she learned from it, because she started experiencing it. And I think she's already a teenager. She should be like 14 or so. And she came for the class. And the feedback she gave was the hygiene part. She's like, Miss, the part about hygiene, on how to be very self-aware about my body and how to take care of my body was amazing. So I think these are the things, even though they started their period, you want them to be in an environment where they fully talk about those things and knowing how to care for them, for their body, and embrace their body, and also embrace their experience as well. As I said, I've heard a child say, oh, I'm not looking forward to this. And well, hopefully and thankfully, based on the feedback I got, she's able to have a different
Of course.
mindset and perspective about
Of
it,
course.
whereby she knows there is something to be, grateful about, happy about, and just, look for ways that you can actually go through your menstruation that also serves your purpose as you grow up as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. While we're on, if you have any questions for It's Okay, please just type it in. I have pinned down the book, Lily's Big Discovery. I've pinned it down. It's available on Amazon. Please check it out. It talks about little girl that started a period and all the experiences and how she went through it, and dealing with the period process, if I can call it that. So please just type in any questions that you have for It's Okay, and she would answer it for you as we're speaking. So I'll just ask her the question while we're having the conversation. So yeah. So you've mentioned the webinar with SFOR, and I think I particularly like the hygiene part of it, because aside from starting your period, puberty alone changes everything for both girls and boys. The smell comes, and what I've noticed is, as a parent, if you are not, because again, they're busy, they're playing, they have sports. If you have boys, I think it's even worse, because I don't think no one smells themselves. My son calls me, he says I have a nose of a dog, but I smell everything. I can smell anything from anywhere. So if it comes home and I have to re-educate him every single time. You need to smell yourself, especially if you've been running around and playing. And for girls as well, aside from them starting their period, they're also going through puberty as well. The smell, the perspiration, everything changes. They have a different smell all of a sudden. And if they're not aware of it, and some people are just not, because again, they have other things to worry about. And I think that hygiene part, as you mentioned, is absolutely important for girls. You're not just sweating, you also have something down there, yeah. It's a lot. So I think
there's a lot
it's
of things
important.
that needs to be talked about around menstruation.
Yeah.
And also, I think I'm just trying kind of questions that young girls have asked as well. So there's another question which I had, which I think she was like, I always notice I get moody these days, but she hasn't started a period. But that's another lesson that also, as a parent or as a girl mom or aunties, you have to be aware of your child's kind of behavior and see how the ups and downs comes, and how you can actually help them go through it. Because is this emotions that are coming into place? They're growing up, things are changing. So we have to be fully aware on how we can manage it and help them manage it as well. So it's another thing as a parent or as a mom that you should be able to do for your children. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's
we
not
have a
just when
question.
they start their period. So we need to be able to understand them.
I agree. I completely agree, because again, I think we mentioned it earlier that women are different. The period might be different for you, to me, and all of that. So it's important that we're aware of that. So someone just asked, how would you suggest the fathers get actively involved in their daughters' menstrual development?
Okay, for fathers, just for the fathers.
Fathers or male figure, I guess, in their lives.
To be honest, it's the same thing I've said about the woman. So, because everything I've been saying today is actually for both male and female. Is something we should all be able to do. The only thing as a man is that we're not experiencing it. So that part you cannot really kind of, give them your own feelings or emotion on how you kind of manage your menstruation, because you don't have it. But as a man, you should be able to educate yourself as well, because if you're educated, then you can be able to educate your young children before they start. So I would say getting that education first is really, really important. Read up about it, understand the changes or the dynamics or what happens around it, or how and also how they should care for themselves. Read up on it, and then you can be able to serve your children as well.
Yeah, I think most men, not all, or some, let me say most, some men think because it's menstruation and the woman goes through it, then it should be the duty of the mothers to do it. Because I've had a father actually say, not husband, because obviously we don't have a girl, but I heard like a friend told me that her husband mentioned this to her. Like, oh no, it's a woman's thing. Why am I discussing it with her? It's just the same way we would say you have the sex talk with the father would have it with the boy and the mother would have it with girl. I think anyone can have it, and both parents should have it. So there was a video I saw recently of a father. This I think is a South African father noticed that his daughter started. So he didn't even buy it. He just went off. He got a basket and he created like a care package for her. And he made it a big deal. So he educated himself about what she was going through and he knew what she would need. And then he also added, some really thoughtful things into the basket. So he created like a menstrual care package for her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just sweet because no one told him to do it. He thought about it and he did it. Yeah. So I had to send that to all of the male figure that I know that had girls. Like, don't just wait until your wife has to tell
wife
you about
or the mother.
This is a father that just
everybody.
About it. Yeah.
It has to be fully supportive. It's everybody. Exactly. It doesn't matter male or female. The only part I can say they cannot fully understand is that the experience, because they don't experience it. But apart from that, every other thing, they should be fully 100% on board on how to discuss menstruation hygiene with their children.
I absolutely agree. So let me see. Someone said stages, great work you're doing. If at early stages of child experience pain during the period, what advice would you give, especially if you're not the mother? If it's not the mother's experience, sorry. So I think they're saying if the child has pains during the period, but I haven't experienced it. What do you do?
Yeah. So to be honest, what I say and within the class is that for full comfort, it's very important for you to see your GP. Okay, for you to have full comfort. But these pains can be managed. And actually the reasons why these pains come is also natural as well. It's just how your body reacts to it. So for extreme pains, yes, there are medical ways which that can be dealt with. But if it's just a pain that can actually be bared or you can actually live with it, then for full comfort as a parent, I would say first thing, just speak to your GP. They can advise you, but there are things you can do and there are things you can actually practice that can actually take that away. So these are part of the things I discuss in the class with the children and on how to care for themselves and how to take care of themselves to reduce the pains during menstruation. So those are part of the things they will be getting and tips they'll be getting as well. But as a parent, I would say if it's a parent asking a question, for you to have a peace of mind, 100%, I always say speak to your doctor so they could maybe give you a full advice medically from that aspect.
I think that is very important.
There are tips and ways on how to deal with it.
I think you mentioning that medical advice is very important. I went to a girls' only school, a boarding school, and I had a friend in boarding. Whenever she gets a period, it's like the world is going to end. And I mean, the world literally ends for her. So what happens? She can't do anything, and she is in pain. When I say pain, it's like excruciating pain. It's worse than I think childbirth pain, from what I can see and how she goes through it. I don't know what the condition is. I think it's endometriosis or something. I don't know what. I can't remember what. If there's a doctor on here, please educate us on it. But there are people that actually go through hell going through their period. I'm not talking about the small pain. It's like this pain is something
pains that they can't get off of the floor.
Yeah, she gets admitted to the hospital. And imagine a woman having to go through this once a month. Because she has a period once a month. So it's like something you don't want to look forward to. But she goes through it and it is so painful. And there are people that, the period we're talking about is not even it. It's on a different level. So please seek your doctor's advice, go to the GP if it's that type of pain.
Because there are things that can be done to actually help manage the pain, and also it's very important for them to go through their series of checks to make sure it's nothing more than just you having your menstruation during the period. So it's very important for you to do that first step first. But once that is done, there are other ways you can manage it. And also, I just want to throw it out there. Another kind of key thing that made me start this education was that one time I think I was hearing on news whereby the number of girls that go absent from class because of menstruation is becoming very high in schools in the UK. And that kind of like, it blew my head off, like, this is a time whereby you shouldn't allow your menstruation bring you down, or allow your menstruation not let you achieve the full best or your full potential. You should be able to manage it. It's something you should look. There are things you could do to actually make you live a normal life. You should be able to. And because for me, during my menstruation, I'm very assertive, active, and I know it differs, but there are ways you can actually take care of your body. When it comes to care, even in the class, we even talk about food, everything. So there are things
that really helps with.
Because
I think a lot of people don't know this, but nutrition, I think, is one of the most important things. Not just
it's part of the class as well.
Your health, well-being in general.
Yes,
your nutrition is absolutely key in changing your life, basically.
So it does go a long way. So these are the things we talk about in class as well. So there are ways that this can be managed very well, that this can actually even stop, or is very, very manageable for you to live your normal life.
I think, you mentioned about managing it. In some cases, some women, they manage it, but it's still very difficult. As you said, our bodies are different. I have an absolutely normal, apart from looking for sweets when I'm closer, or I have all of a sudden a really sweet tooth, which I don't usually have. So I know something's coming, and obviously monitoring it as well. But it's very different. And speaking of some like progress, because I know people that don't have it, which is the reason why we're doing the education, they don't care, and they feel because you're having your menstruation, it shouldn't stop you from coming to work, which it shouldn't. But in some cases, it does for some women, it all varies. But speaking of progress, I think recently, please correct me if I'm wrong, or anyone in the comment section, if they know, Gambia just introduced a law. I think it's called Mother's Day, or I think it's Mother's Day, where a woman can take a day off while she's on her period to rest, recuperate, and then come back to work, paid for. Which I thought was fantastic. Okay. And this is an African country introducing this. So I thought it's fantastic. It's also part of, education. A lot of people are saying, some people are saying, oh, why should women get this? But people that at least understand what women can go through understand this as well. So I think it's it's not a bad thing to have people take time off work to recuperate, especially if you struggle. Obviously, there will be people that are going to abuse it, but it's really for people that need it. And if they do, there's a law there that can protect them, then
that's really good.
Yeah, I think it's Gambia.
Somebody in the comment, I'm saying Finland as well, I think.
Oh, yes. Okay. But so I was surprised that an African country actually introduced this, but it was very recent. If you guys, if someone can check to confirm it's Gambia, I think it's called the Mother's Day law or something. That's what it's called.
Wow.
I want to read something else that someone said, so I don't skip it. I have two questions, one comment and then another question. My dad took care of us during my first period. It made me feel so understood. I've never forgotten the memory. That's so sweet. Imagine. So there are men that do this.
Yeah, of course.
Plenty of them. So it shouldn't be something new to dad. And the person talking is not a young person, so like he's not a teenager. So obviously, it's it's something that men do. This is fantastic. Someone said one of the Scandinavian countries. Okay, it's similar. So I have a question here from someone. It was put in the question section. It says, is it a good idea to let the teachers aware that your daughter has started her period?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it's very, you have to work hand in hand with the teachers or school board. So it's something they should be fully aware, because if they are, at least they can actually fully support the child in school, just in case. Yes, so it's very important for us to make them aware that there's a big change, that's occurred, and also for them to be celebrated as well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when they're just starting, because it's something new.
Yeah, especially
And
when
they
they're
might
just
also
starting, because they
be
might need
slightly
support
different.
in
Yeah,
school.
exactly.
Yeah, they might need support or help in school. So it's important to go hand in hand with the school authority or body for them to be aware of your child's stepping into adulthood.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea, actually. I never thought, okay, it's a correlation, but I think it's important,
Yeah.
especially changes is going through their body, not just the
Yeah.
menstruation, but also hormonal. So they need
Yeah.
to be aware of that as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, it is. I never thought about it, but I think it is. It's like something. It's like changes in the family. You're telling the school. I think that should also include the changes in the woman, the child's body as well, or if they're going through
Yes.
something different.
Yes.
Because any change the school should be informed in some capacity, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very important.
yeah. So yeah, let's know if you have any more questions. But while we're doing that, it's okay. Can you just give us a brief overview again in terms of what LillyFlow is, what you do, why you started it? Oh, it's Zambia. Someone said it's Zambia. I've just
Oh,
checked.
okay.
Zambia is the African country. Yes, Zambia. I
Oh,
knew it was.
that's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh, that's really,
It
really
was
good
very
for
recent as
Zambia.
well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for them to recognize such. So it's
Yeah,
really good, and it's a good step. And
exactly.
it shows that, because some of these African countries, it's a taboo to actually talk
Of
about
course.
menstruation. You
Of
get
course.
so, and yeah, it's even part of, because I can remember growing up in my own household, whereby when my mom is on her period or going through menstruation, there's some certain things she can't do at home, because of
Mm,
tradition.
mm.
So to me, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's, and I remember it clearly. So hence it's also part of the reasons why, it's just breaking the stigma. And also you can
Mm.
imagine if I didn't have this kind of or I don't know, but if I didn't birth this, or I didn't decide to say, okay, no, I don't have to live my life that way. Having a daughter, how will I be fully confident to talk to my child about menstruation?
Exactly.
Do you get me? So
Exactly.
because some people, some of us in our own age, we have actually lived with parents or house or within a household whereby it's actually a taboo
Yeah.
in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Growing up, it can actually affect us consciously or
Absolutely.
unconsciously.
Mm.
Whereby we are actually doing that to our daughters, then we see it as it shouldn't be something we should talk about. You should be very, think about your friend group. How many times do you talk about your menstruation with your friends to actually tell them how you're feeling or how the menstruation has changed kind of slightly this month?
The
People
friends
don't
I
do
have,
it.
we talk about it. We talk about it in
Yeah.
whatever way, shape, or capacity. But I think most people
Yeah.
don't, to be honest. It's not something that we talk about at all. But I think for me, I've made it a point of call to announce it to my household. I am, just in case
So they could be in support. Yeah, it's very
Exactly.
important.
Like I would say, even if they didn't ask me, I'm going to let them know because it's
Yeah.
important, right? Someone said, "Oh, there's a couple of countries: Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Taiwan, Spain, China, all have menstrual leave. That's amazing.
Wow. Oh, that's
China,
really good. There are a lot of countries that have done this.
yeah,
I'm just looking at the comments.
a lot of
Wow.
South,
Hmm.
a lot of Asian countries. That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
So imagine
That's cool.
European countries. They don't even have a lot of European countries. It's all Asian countries. That's crazy. I have an open conversation with my friends and my daughters.
Yes,
Yes, I think
very
things are
important.
changing,
Yeah, it is.
and it's important. It's really important that
Shouldn't
we
be
have
shy
we
about
just
it.
continue
No.
talking about it. Yes, we talk about it until we won't get tired. We just keep talking about it. So let's just recap quickly. It's okay. Let's do a recap about for people that have just joined us that were in here earlier. Let's have a quick recap on who you are, what you do, why you started LillyFlow, what is available to people looking to, get onto this education on for their children about menstruation, because that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
We're talking about the period talk, redefining the taboo around menstruation. So give us a recap quickly, and what parents can do, men, women,
Okay.
husband, wife, everybody.
Yeah, so hi again. So I'm Isaki Obaseki, which who is the founder of LillyFlow, Organic Feminine Care, where we have products, organic products, 100% organic, toxic free for menstruation. So if you want to have the pads, or you want to do the cups or pants, so we do have those different ranges within our product line. And also we have the ones geared for the young girls, which is called First Period Kits. And in there is got full, really nice essentials on all the children need to know about menstruation, and also their starter pack, I would say. So we do sell that as well. And also we have the educational webinar where I teach children age 8 to 14 about menstruation and hygiene. And this is geared for children. This class is heard, I hold this class every other month. So we have our first class in this year, 2025, March 29th. So that's when it will be holding. So UK time from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So you can either follow me, and also you can see my webinar in my Instagram page. And also for you to be able to sign up for this class, you can sign up through our website. So our website is www.lillyflow.com or .co.uk. So you can type that in, and then you can see the products, and also you can book for your child's menstruation kit, and automatically you get signed up for the webinar, which is holding on the 29th of March, 2025. And it's from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. UK time. And also I'm trying to recap. Okay, the reason why I started LillyFlow.
Yeah.
So it's actually because of personal situation, or like something that happened to me years ago. So before, I used to experience severe side effects from my menstruation. So after using products, but I never knew that was the side effects for using my period, the products I was using then. I don't want to name names, so I don't know if it's allowed, but I was using just a mainstream product. Yeah, mainstream products, and where you just buy and take and go home and use it without putting thought into it. And after so many doctors' visits and going through putting me on high dosage of what's it called, antibiotics, I realized that this doesn't serve me anymore. I can't be on antibiotics all the time when this happened to me. And at that time, I was going through an educational session, because I think educational session on nutrition, self, because I was getting myself signed up as a signed coach for wellness. And doing this kind of brought like senses to me, like, what am I doing? I talk about self-care, doing things naturally, because God has created the world and He's created everything that we need to survive and strive. So why am I doing a lot of things that are not natural? So I thought about that, and I kind of related that with my product, which I'm using. I realized that these are filled with nonsense, plastic, and perfumes, which doesn't serve me. And I tell you, immediately I switched to an organic product. It was a game changer for me. And before I could get that organic product in the UK, it took a while. I actually got it from the US. And then I realized that there's a big niche and a space in here in the UK whereby we don't really put 2 cents into it. And I realized that it's not just me. A lot of people go through these reactions when it comes to using products. So since then, that was what kind of birthed LillyFlow, and me preaching and making people aware that, please, I know as much as you take care of your physical body, it's very, very important for you to think about the product you use in your menstruation, because that place is the passage to life. If you destroy that place, a lot of things are destroyed, so it's very important to be very mindful and be very cautious about what we buy from the mainstream. It's not just because it's a big company that matters. Try to look, the smaller companies tend to do better, than the bigger ones. Okay, it's about numbers, but we are about quality. So that's what LillyFlow is about.
And you mentioned something around like what goes inside of you, because it's and we because we also said that women, we go through our periods differently. How I'm going to react to a certain product might be different from how you're going to react to a certain product. But if something is organic, and it is done, taken from, extracted from plants or natural ingredients, then it is more likely to probably work for everyone.
Yes.
Or if, for example, you get reaction if you use a certain type of products or perfumes, that is very possible. So I think a lot of people don't even know they're going to react to it until it happens, right?
And also,
but if you're already going with organic, then it makes things easier for most people.
Yes, it does. And also, we have to think about this, as you're 100% right, because the way you react to it is different from the way another person will react to it. But let me tell you something, that place down there is the most absorbent part of our body. It absorbs and soaks in anything you take in. So no matter what you say that, oh, I don't have this, I would just say, please kind of read up on it and research on it and make your own decision. It's always very helpful for us to make an informed decision. So try to be mindful, as well as you're mindful about your skin. Be very mindful about that place.
I think that's the reason why I'm saying that people react differently, but essentially, if you're going to go with any product, always go with the organic version, because that would just make things safer for everyone. Same way people would rather have plant-based certain things because that's plants. In most cases, people don't react to plants, in most cases. So if you're going to do it, then it's always good to go with the organic version of things rather than just going with everything else, because you think you might not react to it. So you don't have to wait until you react to it. It's always better to go with a safer option, or the safest option if possible. Someone mentioned, I use LillyFlow pads and they are amazing. So this is a testimony that they work. So ladies, check it out. So I have a question. You've talked about the webinar and how you would have the package. Do you sell the product by itself? So people that don't necessarily think they need the webinar, can they just buy your product on your website? Where can they buy?
Yes, of course, 100%. On the website as well, you can see all the product listed there. So you can actually go on the website to get the products. And also another thing which I do is make life easy for women or for people, whereby they can actually go on our subscription page. So you don't have to think about buying every month. So you can have a 6-month subscription, you can have a monthly subscription, you can have a 1-year subscription, whereby you don't think about it, your product just arrives. So that's something you can always do, and you can always pause your subscription at any point as well. You can pause and or restart again, but we have the subscription option for the ladies.
I like that. So you don't even have to think about the period is coming. Someone
you just get your full package for a year.
They will send you your LillyFlow pack when that time comes. So if you do it every month, you would just send it to the person, or I guess the subscription will be monthly, monthly, whatever you set it as.
It's monthly or 6 months or a year.
Fantastic. Okay. So let's just clear things out. There are webinars as Isoke mentioned. There are webinars for young children where when you sign up for the webinar is completely free. But when you sign up for the webinar, you then have to buy the pack, the care pack for the menstruation pack.
And also,
aside from that,
I will announce for this month, because it's my birthday month and it's a big number, so I'm doing £10 off the LillyFlow period kits for girls.
Fantastic.
So if you jump on the webinar this month, you're actually getting £10 off the kits, so which is great.
And the webinar is on, again, give us the date.
Is on the 29th. Yes, so 29th of March. So 2 weeks time. So exactly 2 weeks from
March, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. right?
Yes, 2 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. So ladies, if you're on here, you would like to sign up for your daughters, your sons also, if they want to join. I don't know if you do boys as well, but sign up for your daughters. For now. Okay, just for girls. Okay. Just for girls. Sign up. The girls can then tell their brothers afterwards what happened.
Oh, yeah.
But, sign up for your girls 8 to 14, if I remember.
8 to 14,
sign up
you're right.
Girls, and when you sign up, you get a LillyFlow package that you have to pay for, but the webinar is absolutely free. And she's doing a 10% off this month.
No, it's £10 off.
£10 off.
I do want to just do 10%. £10 off, yes.
Off the LillyFlow care package. So check it out, register. This is the website at the bottom of the screen. It's LillyFlow.com or .co.uk.
Any one of them.
One of them. So check it out. And you can also just get the LillyFlow on the website. So if you're not looking to join the webinar and you're a woman, you would like to just test out the LillyFlow product. Just go on there, check it out. You can subscribe where it would be sent to you on a monthly basis for the subscription, or you can just buy it once off if you want to. And also you mentioned that you have a book. It's
Yes.
called the Lily's Big Journey. I think
Big Discovery.
Big
No,
Discovery.
Lily's Big Discovery.
Lily's Big
It's on
Discovery, and
Amazon.
it's on Amazon.
Yes.
So please check it out as well. It's okay. You've been wonderful. I don't know what to say.
Thank you.
This has been an enlightening conversation. We definitely should have it again. But for now, I think it is important for people to know that the webinar, if you're looking to start that education for your girls, please sign up to this webinar on the 29th of March. It is happening on the 29th and you don't want to miss it. You should definitely not miss it. If you have a girl, little girls or nieces that you also like to sign up, or a family member that you think would definitely need this. Anything else you would like to tell us? What is the vision for LillyFlow in the next 5 years? What are you looking to do with LillyFlow?
Oh, wow. With LillyFlow, I'm looking to actually expand it even much more. So we're looking at not even 5 years. Our year plan is to kind of be in the big shops. And also what we're doing on the ground as well is trying to get into schools. And hopefully we're going to get a breakthrough from there as well. So look to educate children in schools and also help with educating young girls in schools. So if you're just towards the girls and covering just the girls' education, not kind of is mixed, which they do, but coming in to do just the menstruation and hygiene for the girls. So that's kind of like our 1 year plan so far. So 5 years is going to even be much more bigger, and we're hoping bigger and better. So hopefully we are getting there. We're doing the work as much as we can. So hopefully we get there even before the 1 year.
One last question from me. So you mentioned about the cups. I've never been able to get my head around how that works, but do you also demonstrate? Do you also demonstrate it as well when you do the education? You do like the demonstration of how to use it?
No, because I don't advise it for the young girls. And that should come from your parent, you get. So I don't advise it because you're inserting. So with young girls starting, I advise them to use the parts. But the only thing is I talk about the different products out there that they can use during their menstruation, but it's not advisable for them to start using that at the start, because if you can imagine, it's something they're inserting in there. So they won't, it's not something I actually advise them to do. So, but so for all the women, it's amazing products. When I mean amazing, there's I never insert anything. I've always been a pad person, but I took up a sport which is swimming every now and then. And whenever I'm on my menstruation, I still go swimming. That was the greatest thing. Oh my God, it's excellent. Yes. So full menstruation. All I need to do is insert my cup in there, and it's so easy.
I'm trying to figure it out, like picture it how it works. What about people like us that my period goes through like 7 days, like literally 7 days, and it is quite heavy. So is that practical with the cup still?
Oh yes, it's very practical with the cup, because there are two sizes which we sell. We have the small and we have the large. You can go for either one, but depending on how quickly it fills up, I would say if you're heavy flow, for me, I'm heavy flow on my second day, and I'm a 3-day period person. On the second day, once it's heavy, so if I'm maybe swimming, or depends on the activity, if I'm using a cup, I change every 2-3 hours. But the cup can last you up to 6 hours. So all I need to do is take it out and pour it out, and it's just making sure the hygiene part of it. Yeah, you take care of it very well, because you're inserting it. You have to make sure you once you don't take it out, you're inserting a new one, and you have to rinse it off, and also sanitize it. So it's very important. So
reusable, clearly.
Yeah, they're reusable, and they're fantastic. I'm just trying to say, this is personally, I'm not a cup person.
I need to be able to picture it. I still cannot picture how it would work. So anyway, I'm just thinking, is it comfortable? But someone mentioned,
I was amazed. I was amazed how, it's a game changer. When I did, because the truth is that I started my line in 2021. I didn't start using the cup till early last year or late 2023. that's when I started using the cup, because I started doing swimming lessons.
Okay.
You know, so as soon as I started, it was a game changer. I just tried it one day. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. No wonder,
Yeah.
you know.
Someone has just mentioned here as well. Um, they're very practical. The longer you use it, the easier it gets. The cup helps alleviate some of the symptoms, some of my symptoms. So she clearly uses it.
Oh,
It
okay.
depends on your flow. Maybe insert just before swimming. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So
of course.
I think
If you
it's
have
an
to insert
evidence
before
that,
swimming,
yeah, okay.
yeah, it depends on your flow. It depends on the flow. But for
Okay.
me, before I leave the house, that's right. Before I leave the house, that's when I put in a new cup. Then I go
Okay.
swimming.
And it
And
doesn't
I bet
stiff,
you, not
it
even
doesn't
one leak.
move.
No,
Wow. That's
not
amazing.
even one leak. Provided inserted properly, because when you insert it, it opens up.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
opens
basically
up and just
just
protects.
helping you collect the blood, I guess.
Yeah,
That's what it's doing.
collect it, and when you go off it, then you can change, or when you get home, you
Okay.
change.
It sounds
Depends on how
practical.
heavy you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds practical, but I need to at least test it out to see. It's something
Yeah.
I definitely am interested in. Okay. All right. Super. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there final words? Again, quickly plug the webinar, tell everyone before we finish. And yeah.
For me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I just want to say thank you for the great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to meeting the girls for this month webinar. And also, if there's any question, you can follow. I'm always happy to talk about menstruation, and please, let's not make it a taboo. Let's let's normalize menstruation, and talk about it as more often as we can. And get our girl child very comfortable in talking about menstruation. So when they get to school, or even though they start their menstruation in school, it's something to be fully excited for. And please make sure you get them a LillyFlower the day they start their period. So that's what I always advise. Get them a LillyFlower when they start their period, so that you can celebrate with them.
That's a good idea. Get them a LillyFlower. That's
Yeah.
a really good idea. And I think another thing parents can also do is you could probably have a care package for them to take. Once you know that they're getting closer to the time that they might get their period, have
Yeah,
them,
you buy the kit.
yeah,
Buy the LillyFlow
and
first
have
period
them
kit. That's
take
what it's there
something to
for.
school in their
Yes.
school bag, just in case,
Yes.
because you never know when it would start. It doesn't announce
It's
itself,
very
right?
advisable.
Yes.
Yeah. In the kit, we have what we call the string bag, where you can put your extra panties or extra pads.
Okay.
So for you to take along with you. And that's why I advise the girls when they come to my classes, as soon as you start seeing some changes, so you start taking these things in class, or just leave it in your locker in school. If you have a locker in school, then it's something you can leave in school just in case.
A care package, yes. Fantastic. So get a care package, especially from LillyFlow, because it's all organic. So get that, and within that, there's a pack or a starter pack that they can put in their bag or in the lockers, because you just never know when it would start. But having them ready or preparing them in advance is always a good idea. So LillyFlow has that. The best thing is for you to just sign up for the webinar, which is happening on the 29th of March. Sign up and you would get everything you need within this webinar. You can also contact LillyFlow by just clicking on the link that I've just put in here. Well, you can't click on it, but type out the link, or you can just click on LillyFlow now and follow. Actually, you can follow LillyFlow, the page now. As we're speaking, please just click the page, follow LillyFlow, and you can ask her any questions, or you can send it to us. We would get your questions to It's Okay as well. But thank you so much, It's Okay, for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's 1 hour 40 minutes. We've been speaking for 1 hour 14 minutes.
Wow. And it seems like just 10 minutes.
I know. Time goes by really quickly. Especially
Yeah.
when you're having fun and you're having a good conversation.
Oh,
but
that's good.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
No problem at all. All the best with LillyFlow, and thank you. We'll definitely have you back again. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
All right,
bye.
Bye. Okay, bye-bye. So thanks everyone for joining. As It's Okay has just said, I'm trying to, okay. Thanks, It's Okay, for joining. So as It's Okay said, please just check out our website, check out the book on Amazon, check out the, on the website, you would have the detail for the webinar. But it is absolutely important that we get this conversation going. It should never be a taboo to talk about period to you, everybody, not just the girls, everyone should know about it, and everyone should be educated about it. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for joining the conversation as well. There's going to be more of this. We might not talk about period next, but we would have we'll have our regular lives, and if there's any topic that you would like us to talk about, send us a DM and we will look into it as well. And don't forget to check out our merchandise. We have throw pillows, hoodies, canvases. So check it out. It's on africanmommy.com. We have tote bag as well. Beautiful tote bag. So check it out. It's on africanmommy.com/shop. So check out our merchandise, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. And until next time, bye for now.